Hello, Jiang.
Hello，
Welcome. Go right ahead.
OK，刚刚有一个人问杨海波说，那个为什么BCH 涨幅还没有到以太坊那么高
？The price of BCH is not as high as
？这个是因为以太坊它在之前提供了 define 这种很好的服务用户的手段，所以说它获得很多用户，所以说它肯定会出现大幅的上涨。
And that's why for their big price increase, I think.
然后在最近 BCH 也上涨了，但是没有涨到以太坊那么多，这就是因为没有像以太坊那样获得很多用户。
We do not have the same number of users as they do.
所以用户对于我们来说是非常重要的。
Users for us, the number of users is quite important for us.
牛市来了，大量的用户又会涌入区块链的世界。
And I think more users will come in. The most important public chain, blockchain, and big now.
BTC 拥堵的原因是不愿意扩容，并且以后基本上也不可能扩容。
BTC is because they don't want to scale up.
BTC 如果要扩容的话，那它就必须进行硬分叉。
They want to scale, they has to do hard forking.
由于 BTC 社区内部对不扩容已经有了比较强的共识，如果做硬分叉扩容的话，就会再分裂出一个币。
Scaling, and if they do hard forking again, there will be a new currency, new token.
并且会重演2017年 BCH 分叉时候的剧本。那个时候扩容的支持者会发现说，不如直接投票 BCH。
The supporters of scaling will see that they might as well just go to BCH. Now, a lot of the scaling methods of BTC, such as Lightning Network and Segwit, have been proven ineffective. There's almost nobody using Lightning Network, and Segwit only has 20% of the scaling effect. Now, BTC is badly crowded. We see that in the past few days, the unconfirmed transaction has been kept at 50 to 100 megabyte level, and that means 0.001 BTC for 1 KB of transaction fee. That's $6 per 0.5 KB for one transaction. So that's 30% of the peak back in the 2017 bull market. And ETH also reached their upper limit, but the reason is quite different than that of BTC. It's not that they are reluctant to scale up, it's that they cannot. Now they can do 15 to 20 transactions every second, and that's the upper limit their internet hardware can support. And this is because the underlying architecture of ETH and BTC are quite different. The UTXO model that Satoshi designed is much more resources effective than the account model of ETH. And also the smart contract code on ETH also consumes a lot of their performance. And as a result, so we can see that the number of transactions ETH supports is only 5% to 10% of that of BTC. And in order to address that problem, ETH wants to do partitioning or zoning. For example, they want to divide their their chain into multiple chains. For example, 100 chains, and one chain or one node only run 1/100th of all the data, so that they can improve their performance by 100 times. But that's the ideal scenario. In reality, they might not realize the goal. But according to the impossible triangle law, that's the triangle between decentralization, performance, and reliability, we see that those three things cannot be achieved all at once. And so this might cause, the partitioning might cause the huge drop of the reliability of ETH. As long as one chain of their 100 chains has a problem, the whole ETH will have a problem. Also, the interaction of data between different chains might also be a big problem for ETH. So because of the crowding issue of BTC and ETH, we think that users will spill over to other chains, other unclogged chains. And BCH is the only chain among all those chains that can support tens of millions of users. And it's the only decentralized public chain that can support that many users. And so we will be able to receive the largest number of spillover users. And currently, we see that the BCH network can support 100 to 200 megabytes of blocks. And if we think one transaction on average costs 0.5 KB, the TPS is 333 to 666. And if we think one active user do one transaction one day, BCH can at least support 28 to 57 million users, and that will give us a long time for further development. And other chains, either their performance or capability or capacity is not big enough, or they're not decentralized enough. A lot of chains like BSV or TRX, they are controlled by individuals or companies. They are not decentralized, so they are not really public chains. And a lot of the public chains, like ETH, they have written their smart contract code into their main chain. So their TPS is about the same as ETH. So, but compared with them, BCH has different layers of data, and the main chain is only used for storing, and it does not parse smart contract code. Only the second layer internet node will parse the smart contract code, like SLP protocol. So the architecture of BCH itself is better. But of course, there are still a lot of things we need to improve, we need to work on. For example, I think even with the zero confirmation and avalanche protocol, we still need to further reduce the block time so that the users will have better user experience. And we also have problems on the development fund, the funding source of BCH, the community decision-making mechanism, and so on. They're not clear right now. So those are the things we need to work on. And also, finally, I want to put on a small ad for us. I welcome all of you to participate in our co-mining. The website is bit.top. Unlike the cloud computing power, we only sell our mining machines at the cost price, and we will only do dividend. We will only distribute dividends when the miners have earned their investment, earned back their investment. For example, we bought mining machines for 1 million RMB using our big client qualification. We were able to do that, to purchase the mining machine at that price. And we will sell the mining machine to the miners at the same price, not earning any money. We will only charge 20% of their net profit when they have recovered their investment. For example, if they have 1 million of profit, we will charge 20% of that 1 million. That's 200,000. So you will see that our mining machine is the lowest price on the internet. And we think that during this bull market, the increase speed will be even slower, and the market will be in stagnation for a longer period of time. So it's a very good time for mining. So I welcome all of you to come join us on Bit.top. Our vision is that BCH can become the world currency, and BCH can serve the 6 billion people on Earth.
OK， 结束了，可以进入回答问题的环节了。
Okay, thank you very much. I'm ready to take any questions.
That's great. Thank you very much, Jiang. Viola, there are 3 questions in the Q&A tool. Can you ask
共
those?
有3个问题问您的。OK， 第一
Thank you.
个首先第一个问题的话，就是可以给我们讲一下，就是这个 IFP 是这个如何被就是现有的这个矿工们这个接收的这个 IFP 的问题。还有的话就是您为什么重新考虑这个 POW 用这个 POW 投票来激活您的这个体验？最后一个问题就是有没有别的一些，就是您有没有考虑别的一些办法来确保就是这个架构的这个融资的问题，这个资金来源的问题。First about IFP, from what we can see right now, we don't think that plan can work. And if we were to run that plan, we will make the miners decide for themselves which development teams they want to fund, they want to support. We will issue a white list so that they can choose from that list the development team they want to support. And second, about your second question, I always agree that POW voting is a more convenient and also low-cost way to to demonstrate the different ideas, different opinions in the community. And thirdly, yes, of course, now the funding for development team is a big issue, like I mentioned in my talk earlier. Okay, and I suggested a plan actually proposed by a Satoshi plan, and that's to give our development team some advertisement effect. For example, we can involve some companies who need such an advertisement, and we can give out awards to the successful or to the fruitful development teams, and that way we can increase the exposure. Also, for the companies, they can get the advertisement they want, and the companies, as a return, will give money to the development team. And just like the Nobel Prize, the Nobel Prize winning scientists, they will not only receive the money, they will also receive the great honor, also recognition from the community. And I really want such a plan to work. I want to do such a awarding arrangement for our development teams, and we need to really activate to incentivize the companies and also involve the whole community. And it's a big project, and we will be working on that. And if any of you are interested in doing such a project, please feel free to contact me, and we can do it together. And you can contact us through the customer service on Bit.top. And okay, next question. 下一个问题好。Okay, first question is the current situation of Bit and the influence of the current situation of BitMain on BCH. And also, as we know that now the situation with BitMain is quite complicated, and I think Mr. Wu Jihan is in main control right now because he has controlled sales and finance and also the production of the chip for the mining machines. And he lacks the supply chain, also assembly line for the mining machines. But I think it's a minor issue. They can easily solve that by outsourcing, finding another factory to do that. Because for the production of mining machine, the chip is most important, and finding a manufacturing factory is quite easy. So I expect that the Wu Jian's team will be able to produce mining machines normally in August or June or September. And actually, I don't think the complicated situation with BitMain has any influence on BCH. It's just that I know that a lot of people are interested in their business, so I spent some time explaining. And we know that BCH was born of the division between Of course, at the beginning stage of BCH, Bitmain had a big influence, a big impact on BCH. But later, Wu Jihan realized their influence, so he withdrew some of the influence. And now the situation is the thing is Bitmain has little influence or control over BCH. I think the Western community has a strong awareness of that, but some of the people in the Chinese community do not know that. Because Bitmain is a major investor in BCH and they own a lot of BCH, so they will have some influence on the price of BCH. So to conclude, the influence of Bitmain on BCH is only on price right now. Their buying or selling of BCH sometimes may have, may affect the price of BCH, but they have little control over BCH, and Wu Jihan himself does not want to gain more control or influence over BCH. Okay, that's my answer towards that question. And the last question, Mr. Wu asked that because it's crowded and user and the investor may also use ETH. Also, which producer now produce the best mining machine, and how can users address that problem, and how can we increase application when the bull market comes? And actually, it's 4 small questions. First, because BTC is quite crowded and users and investors may go to ETH, but the thing is, ETH itself is also crowded. Actually, the transaction fee on ETH and BTC is quite similar. So both those, so a lot of the users on those chains are now spilling over to other chains. Okay, and the second small question is that which manufacturer now produce the best mining machine? This may be of interest to some miners. There's no doubt that Bitmain still produce the best mining machine on the market, especially their S19 line, and the performance per watt for S19 is about 29.5, so it's the best thing on the market. And about the fault rate, high fault rate with the S17 line, they have successfully solved that problem with the S19 line. And we have bought 1,900 S19 machines from them. And among those machines, only 3 broke down. So the fault rate is only about 2 per 1,000 mining machines. And for the investors, compared with profits, they may pay more attention to loss. Sometimes they may want to they are willing to reduce the profit in order to reduce the possible losses. So if they're concerned about that, S19 is their best choice because S19 is the mining machine with the lowest energy consumption. And even though the price has dropped from 10,000 to 5,000 now, they can still run their S19, but not with other mining machines. So for a lot of investors, they have suffered great losses when the price dropped from 10,000 to 5,000. But if you have a S19 mining machine, you may not suffer at all because you can keep your S19 running, mining Bitcoin to reduce your loss. And if you continue to do that for a while, you will be able to offset any loss with the price drop. And also the last 2 small questions, how to increase the number of users and also the number of application. And first of all, BCH will continue to be a good currency and be a good platform, and to support high TPS. And as to what kind of applications we should run on BCH, that should be the decision of the developers and the community. BCH should just be a very good platform, has very good TPS and other good features and functions. And that way it will naturally attract developers to develop on the platform and also attract users to join the community. And it's quite hard for me to predict exactly what kind of applications will be popular on the platform, but I can say for sure that for any good application, high TPS is key. For example, if we have 50 million or even 100 million users going to the blockchain market and they need stable currency and other application. And so now the competition point will be who can support such a large number of users and who can do that will have the most value.
好的，我回答完了，谢谢大家。
So this is my answers. Thank you very much.
Check out b.top, which is Jiang's new offering. b.top, that's a domain name.
Okay, bye.
Bye.